everybody. Welcome to Agents Without Borders. Thanks for popping in and listening. We're super excited. Today we have Stephanie Bray on the call. She is from Scottsdale, Arizona, and she has an amazing story to share with us about how she not only pitched Ryan Serhant, but also opened up the first Serhant, right? Am I saying it right?
Yes,
Serhant
totally.
Brokerage in Arizona, correct? You brought it
Yes.
to Arizona. So welcome,
Good.
Stephanie. Super
Thank you
inspirational.
so much. I'm so excited to be here with you guys today.
And it was really cool because a mutual friend connected us, right? And
Yes,
he was just like, oh my
absolutely.
gosh, you need to talk to this Stephanie Bray. And I'm like, okay, like, yeah, like who is this girl if you're saying I need to chat with her? And then we jumped on a call and you were telling me your story, which, let's just dive right in. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? And
Yeah, I would love to. I'm so glad that he did introduce us. He said, you guys will be birds of a feather, and I totally knew right away why he said that. It was awesome chatting with you. Yeah, I am Stephanie, and I have been in real estate for my entire life. People think that's like kind of a joke when I say it, but I am actually a third generation realtor. So I literally grew up with my mom going to showings and in the back of her Suburban getting bribed with treats and snacks and stuff to be quiet with my siblings in the back of the car. So I've been in the business for literally my entire life. I've been in Arizona for my whole life too. I'm a Phoenix native, which is really cool. Just to see how Phoenix and Scottsdale have grown over the years. Um, but in my early adulthood, I started selling real estate full time and worked for the same brokerage for a very long time. And last year, there were just some things that were kind of happening that didn't feel right to me anymore and just didn't align with the vision and the values that I had for myself and for my business. And I started looking around town. And when I say town, I mean, we're the fourth largest metropolitan town in the country now. And so there's tons and tons of brokerages. And I interviewed with all of them, and still nothing just felt like a pull to me. And I found myself in this place where I was like, what am I doing? Is this even, do I even want to keep selling real estate? I was really just confused and in this place. And I went on a vacation with one of my very best friends, and she said she had just come from Inman and she saw Ryan Serhant speak. And she said, why don't you go work for Ryan Serhant? I was like, well, obviously, I would love to do that, except for the fact that he's not in Arizona. And she was like, well, why don't you ask him to? And I was like, okay, fascinating idea. Yep, all right. So I spent the rest of our trip reading all of his books and listening to his podcasts, and it clicked with me. Like everything about him, I was like, this is exactly what we're missing in Arizona, and this is exactly what I'm missing. He's super client centric, just like always willing to do whatever it takes, to get the deal done and help his clients get what they want. And and like so dedicated to being genuine and authentic to himself too, right? So I started writing a pitch. I went to business school and I'm like a huge nerd. So I, I wrote this pitch. It was 10 pages. And it was like, here's why I think you should come to Arizona, and here's why I think you should do it with me. And the more that I listened to all of his stuff, I was just like, I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna read this. What am I gonna do? Like DM him a PDF? I don't think he's gonna see it or look at it. Like this dude gets
Just send
pitched.
him a message on Instagram.
Yeah,
That's
right. I
really,
was wondering
hi
that. I was like, why don't
Ryan.
you just reach out to
That's
Ryan and be like,
okay. I'm
Hey,
gonna say
hey,
Ryan
that's probably what
Serhant.
I would have done. I would
yeah,
have been like, what do I do? I'm just gonna send him a
yeah.
DM and like pray.
And like since telling this story, I have since found out like how many people have done that, like how many people just reach out to him all the time. I kind of realized that wasn't going to work. And I was like, how can I really stand out and do something different? And so last summer, I hired a creative team and we filmed my pitch as a video. And so it was a 3-minute pitch, 3-minute video. Again, like all the reasons why Arizona is awesome and all the reasons why I thought he should open his brokerage here with me. I got the video. I bought an iPad and I engraved the back of the iPad to say Serhant Scottsdale. And I took the video and I put it on the iPad and I FedExed it to his office in New York City.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
Isn't that the coolest story, Desi?
Yes.
Like
Think
I was
outside the
obsessed.
box. Like, what? How could he say no?
I
It's
know.
wild. I actually, oh, it's somewhere around here, but I like have it sitting here right next to me all the time. I got the iPad back. Is the short of the story, but or the long version. But yeah, and it was kind of crazy, right? Like that's a moment in and of itself because I basically just took $5,000 between like video production and time spent and editing and outfits and that physical iPad and like put it in the mail and said like, good luck, little iPad, right? Who knew? I didn't know what was going to
Yeah.
happen. So anyway, I put all the tracking on it, of course, like as much tracking as I possibly could. So I do know that it arrived.
You had a little air tag
And
attached to it, and it just
like,
like
seriously, I I got an email from him basically like within a couple of hours of the iPad arriving, and he said all caps, "Wow, you didn't have to send an iPad." And I was thinking like, well, I kind of did because it worked. Like you looked at it. He said, we have no plans to be in Arizona right now, but when we do, dot dot dot. I was like, ugh, okay. I didn't come this far to just come this far. And he copied a guy on the email named Todd. I found out that Todd is still the VP of growth at Serhant. And so I reached out to him and I was like, hey, I want to get to know you. I want to hear about your vision and how we move Arizona up on the list. So we had a call and it was awesome. He kind of ended the call by saying, Steph, look, you do a great business, but in order to go into any market, we really have to have X amount of dollars of trailing 12-month production to go into any market. And I was like, okay, all right. And he said, why don't you talk to some of your friends in real estate, see if you can get anybody else that might be interested. I was like, okay, yep, I can do that. And I said, by the way, are you going to be in New York next week for Ryan's conference? And he's like, yeah, why? He's like super sketched out by me at this point. And he's like, or I said, I bought a ticket. I'm coming to New York. Can I meet with you? And he was like, all right, sure. When he tells this story, he tells everyone that he thought I was like a super fangirl or a stalker or something. So he made us meet like at this very public hotel bar. Which we did.
You
It's
think
so
you're gonna
good.
kidnap him?
Right. I know. I'm like,
I mean, it's New
all
York.
like
Anything can
5'4",
happen.
little like blonde chick. I don't know what I'm gonna do to you, but anyway. So I meet with him and I was like, hey, look, I know that you asked me to find some people that might be interested. And it took me all of 6 days, but I came up with X plus 20% of what you had asked me for. So can we talk about Arizona now? And yeah, it was pretty crazy. I was like screaming inside because he took a picture of it and he sent it to Ryan right then. And he was like, are you ready for Arizona? That's what he
Oh
texted
my
to
gosh, that is like
Wow.
such an incredible moment.
Ryan. It
Like,
was. Yeah.
I feel like after I chatted with you the other day, I was like, oh my gosh, like literally, like it's just like a mindset shift and you have to drive forward. And what's the worst that could happen? They said no, but you
For
like
sure.
you made it so they can't say no. You're
Yeah.
like found out how to make them say yes and you did the work and
Yep.
then here
Yeah.
you
And I feel like
are
that
today.
persistence, like you made a decision, you're like, I know I need to be here, and whatever it
Yeah.
takes, like this is what's
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
needed to change, right? You were like,
Right.
hey, I really need a change. And I'm not waiting for Sir to decide to come and just so that I can sign
Totally.
up. And like how
Yeah.
many people, including myself, I think I probably would have been like, oh, okay, like that's not
Yeah.
gonna fly,
Not the
like
time. Yeah.
I just feel like that is such an amazing story. I'm
Thank you.
so stinking proud of you. So now what's
Thank
happened? So then
you.
they opened and tell us
Yeah.
now what's going on. What's
Yeah, we opened in March with about 70 agents who have done $750 million of sales in the last 12 months. So according to Serhant, it's the single largest brokerage opening in Arizona history, like
oh
outside of,
my
buying or, whatever. buying
Mm.
someone or merging or whatnot. So
Yeah.
it's been really, really cool. It's been absolutely amazing, like the ride of my life for sure. And, something that I love telling too is the personal side of it, right? Because I think I shared a little bit with you, Elizabeth, right? Like that was all kind of the brokerage, like very open facing thing that was
Mm.
happening. But in the background, my life was just going crazy. And I think that's now looking back at the story, it is such an important part of the story. And it's so much of the why did I keep going. Last year, I got divorced. My dog, who is like my soulmate dog, the one that like takes half of your heart, he actually died the day that I came back from New York, the first
Right.
time that I met Ryan. And then like just a couple of weeks after my ex-husband moved out, the sewer line under my house collapsed. And so I had to literally remodel my entire house. Like the floors were dug up. There were mounds of dirt everywhere in my house. And like what a symbolic thing, right? Like the literal foundation of my life was totally, totally torn up. And now obviously Serhant's here and we're going full steam ahead, but then I had no idea if it was going to happen. I sent an iPad in the mail to some, like they could have ignored it completely.
Well, plus all that
And
money you spent on that, that was such a risk, especially like,
yeah,
you probably needed that to help you with your new pipes in your house, and it was
right?
probably like
Yeah,
such a risk for you to
yeah,
basically build your life and your business from the ground up again. Like you're
for
saying,
sure.
so symbolic.
Yeah, super symbolic.
Yeah.
And I think the really cool takeaway that I can see now that it was so hard to see back then, I think I told you there were so many days that I had that felt really dark and like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And like, how do I get out of any of this? And every day felt like so, so, so long. And now I look back and I'm like, it was 12 months.
Yeah.
And you can definitely change your life. You can change the entire trajectory of your life if you just decide that you're going to do it. And you take one step every day. And sometimes it's 5 steps backwards in a day. But if you just decide, you can totally do it.
Yeah,
So
I think that's
Got like
just,
full chills. That's
I
so
know,
cool.
I know, right? I'm like, how
I
do you
still
even
like
feel like
get
mic
choked up
drop?
saying it.
Like,
Yeah.
how do you even say anything to that? It's like,
Like, I have nothing
yes,
to
you
say.
can. If Stephanie can do it, anybody can do it. But I honestly think I don't actually believe that. I think like you've got it, right? Like
Oh, you're so sweet.
from growing up in an industry like that, you have to be tenacious, you have to work hard, you have to think outside of the box, and you saw your family doing it. I think I'm gonna cry. And then it's like, you're like, hey, I'm gonna do this. Like I'm changing my life, but for the better. And
Yeah,
then the
for sure.
partnerships you've built. One thing I was wondering is like when you were reaching out to other agents, because you brought on so many agents with you, like you brought so many people with you, like how did that look? Like, was that like coffee? Was that just phone calls and just the pure excitement of what you were trying to accomplish to bring them along for the ride? Like, tell us a
Yeah,
little bit about that.
for sure. I mean, I told Todd, the VP guy, that I really wanted to help them build a brokerage of badasses. And I wanted to just like be around people that lift me up, lift each other up, support each other. I have always been one to believe in a rising tide lifts all ships, the old adage. I really believe that. And there's enough business for all of us. There is. And I'm not like a gatekeeper when it comes to real estate. Like if anybody asked me how I did it or how I do it, I would go have lunch or coffee with them and tell them everything, right? Like, here you go. I think that there's enough business to go around, and this is a hard enough business as it is. Like, there's no need to be nasty and mean and, competitive. And so that was just kind of the spirit that I went at it with was like, hey, I'm trying to make a big change in our industry that I think could really use it. And do you want to come?
So just basically picking up the phone and calling people or hanging
Yeah.
out with your
Yeah.
network.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, that's so cool. Do you have people reaching out to you now? Just like kind of, is it like sort of like as it's building out, you have people connecting with you continuously now?
Yeah, I do. I do. There's this kind of internally thing that we say, which is the Serhant effect. And I think some people hear that and they think like, oh, owning Manhattan, you know, and of course that has a big impact on things, the fact that he does have the show, but just the exposure has been amazing. And the agents that I've connected with, not just in the country, but outside of the country, like all across the globe, people just reach out to say, you know, hey, I saw what you did, or hey, I saw that Serhant is in Arizona now. And I do have agents that reach out to me on Instagram and like, me, just little old me, you know, like, hey, I would love to hear more about the company and can I join and that kind of stuff. So it is really neat. It's really neat.
That's so
That's
cool.
amazing. I've talked to one agent who joined with you, and she said the coolest part is he's so supportive. Like we sent over like a $20 million referral, and the referral was interviewing a few different agents in the area. And I
Uh-huh.
think she actually got him to jump on a call with her, and that's what locked it up for her.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's so cool. I don't know how he does it, honestly. I mean, now he's got something like 1,300 agents, I think, but I talk to him like every couple of weeks probably, and he sends texts to people to check in. But that's what makes him great, right? Is he is so committed to his agents and his follow-up and all of that, that it really makes it special.
Well, and really, like with what you've done for the brand, like just your story, bringing that many people in, like it's amazing. I just think that's so cool and such an inspirational piece.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
That's super sweet.
So if people are interested in connecting with you, is that the best way through socials?
Yeah, social media is definitely the place where anybody can find me the most on Instagram.
Instagram?
Yeah,
Are you a
Instagram.
TikToker yet or?
Oh gosh, my coach is like, girl, get on TikTok. And he's like, and stop just watching it. You got to post there too. I'm
Maybe
working
that
on
could be our
TikTok.
thing. We'll leave this call and then all of us need to do some TikTok in this week
There
and we
we
can
go.
reach out to each other.
Okay.
Do you have any
Hold each
really
other
good books
accountable.
that you're reading that you could recommend to our
Oh
listeners? We
my
love
gosh.
collecting book ideas. So
Okay, a book that is I'm not even done with yet and has changed my life already is called The Perfectionist's Guide to Losing Control.
Ooh,
I'm gonna write that down because I'm gonna
If
forget.
you, yeah, if you at all identify as a perfectionist or have ever felt yourself, you know, being called one by either yourself or others, it'll change your life.
I'm gonna check it
okay.
out. I'm gonna
I'm
check. I'm
ordering it right
sure like
now.
a lot of people in like this universe can, you know,
Yeah,
lean into that.
right.
It's like
And
I
I
identify as a semi perfectionist.
And it's fascinating too, right? Especially there's like 5 different types of perfectionists that she identifies in this book, which is really neat. Um, and I think one of the things that always was so hard for me growing up as a perfectionist is like, stop trying to be so perfect all the time. Like, stop, you know, just do something silly or do this or don't be a perfectionist, right? And there's such this negative, like, it's something that needs to be fixed or resolved. And she kind of shifts that whole mindset to just rather than like fixing that, acknowledge that it's a superpower if you can manage it better. It's
That's
super cool.
awesome. Have
Yeah.
you heard of that book before, Desi?
I haven't. Uh-uh.
No, me neither. I'm gonna totally check it out.
It's really good. You guys will have to let me know what you think about it. We'll have a little
Well,
book
for
club
sure.
after.
And
Yeah,
you
book
know, sometimes
review.
we end up in Scottsdale. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I know you're not
Yeah.
going to end up in Medicine Hat, Alberta. If you
Yeah,
ever go to
nobody ends up in
Calgary,
Hailey, Idaho. It has to be
Hey,
intentionally that you're coming here.
yeah.
you never know. I mean, it's really hot here right now. So
Yeah, you're done. Come here. It's cool. It's
there
cool.
we go. See? And I
Well,
have friends there now.
pardon me. Yeah, you've got
And I
friends.
have friends there.
Friends in
Yeah,
Idaho, friends in Canada. You can come up and see us anytime. But for real, if you ever come in, let us know.
for sure.
Thank you so much for sharing your story and spending some time with us. I'm
No.
sure people are going to just like, this is going to blow them up and think like, what can we do to just like shoot big, you know, like go big or go home essentially, right?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
inspirational. I love it.
Well,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much.